So last week on SmackDown, Liv Morgan came out to do another in-ring interview instead of a standard like by herself promo. And during her interview, the crowd pretty much turned on her and began booing her. Kayla Braxton was visibly frustrated and afterwards even said, "I was annoyed by the disrespectful chants towards our SmackDown Women's Champion." I have two questions here. A, should Kayla Braxton care how the WWE Universe responds to Liv Morgan? And B, why do you think the WWE Universe is booing Liv Morgan? Kayla's a grown woman. She can do and say whatever she wants. But in the moment, getting emotional or directly showing emotion and basically having a shoot reaction, because that's what she did. That's a shoot reaction. When you're in that ring and somebody is cutting a promo, you are a participant. You're an actor. You're another member of the cast. And for you to give a shoot reaction feels to me to be a little bit unprofessional. If the crowd turns, you go with it. You embrace it. You got to ride that wave. As far as Liv Morgan goes, I don't understand the big deal with her getting booed. This is how WWE booked this. This is, if this, look, there's a lot of smart people back there. I think that Triple H is a smart person. If any of them thought it wasn't going to go this way, they missed the fucking mark on this one. She won her match in a heel way. That's what it was. When you get a pin, when someone's trying to submit you and you tapped out, that's a heel win. It's a cowardly way to win. And then they show us this video over and over and over, like 10 times. They show us this video that we can all clearly see she tapped out before the 3 count. And then she comes out and insults our intelligence by telling us what you saw was wrong. That's heel tactics. She's lying. So now you won in a cowardly fashion. You're lying. You insult the audience's intelligence. Those are all heel motivations. Then when this crowd was on the cusp, yelling, "You tapped out," I believe at that moment the crowd was teetering. You can take them either way. And she clapped back. She clapped back at the crowd. She got a little snarky with the crowd. She got a little smart ass with the crowd, and that was it. You turned them. You turned the crowd. You overreacted. She was visibly upset, and she overreacted. Then to pour salt on the wound, somebody sent Sonya Deville out to basically inadvertently bury her by yelling, "You know you shouldn't be champion." Something that there's about 50% of the audience that's already whispering. Sonya Deville yells that out. And I think that by doing that, she inadvertently might have turned Ronda Rousey back into the babyface in this situation, which I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Here's the deeper problem. And this is a problem I talked about a long time ago that everybody gets pissed off when I talk about Liv Morgan, but here it is. This is the truth. We got to be honest. Liv Morgan has zero control over the crowd. The art of cutting a promo means you have the ability to take the crowd where you want to take them. Liv Morgan lets the crowd take her where they want to take her. They control her emotions. You could see her become visibly frustrated with the crowd. Same with Kayla Braxton. They became visibly frustrated because the crowd didn't give them the reaction that they wanted. People like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, Edge, Jericho, MJF, Punk, those people know how to, they mold the crowd. They take the crowd where they want them to go. Punk is good at this. Jericho is good at this. Rollins is good at this. Becky's good at this. They can set them up one way and then slap them back the other way. You have to be able to control the crowd. And I've said this for a long time. Liv Morgan's not ready for this. She's not ready for this. It's not a knock on her. She's young. She has time. But where do you build these skills? She has to build these skills. Liv's not ready for the main event spotlight. Not by herself. It's why they're putting her in interviews instead of promos. The amount of responsibility that comes with holding that belt, you can't get your feelings hurt when the crowd turns. You have to be able to react. Someone like Jericho takes that and goes, "Fuck it, I'm heel now. I'm a heel. That's cool. This is the way the crowd wants to respond. I'll run with it." Someone like Liv Morgan, who's not ready for this, gets nervous, gets scared, gets upset. She's not ready. And the problem for Liv Morgan is Liv Morgan was living in a fantasy world with a fantasy fan base. There was this group of WWE fans, probably more casual, who believed that she was better than she was, that she was more capable than she was. Liv can be good. There's no doubt Liv Morgan can be a great professional wrestler, but she has to be booked very carefully. And Ronda is literally the worst person in the world to put someone fragile like Liv Morgan up against. There isn't a person in the world who believes that Liv Morgan is going to beat Ronda Rousey in a fight. So the only way for her to win is to be heelish, is to have a cowardly ending, a heel type ending to that match. But I go one step further. Liv could be a likable heel. Liv could be in the position to do heelish things, but continue to be a fan favorite. She has that skill set to work the crowd in that way. And like I said, Liv can't have long-term success as a babyface. She doesn't have the wrestling skills. She doesn't have the mic skills. What Liv has is an amazing look. She has a good personality. She's seemingly liked. The crowd tends to get on her side. But to have a long-term babyface run, you have to have one of two things. You have to be able to be a wizard on a microphone. You have to be able to talk the crowd in any direction you want them to go in, or you have to have superhero believability in the ring. Guys like John Cena, right? It has to look like you can overcome any obstacle. It has to look like every time Liv Morgan steps in the ring, she is capable of beating Ronda Rousey. And at this point, I don't think we look at Liv that way. WWE booked Liv into this corner, and they have two choices now. There's only really two choices. Two choices as far as it goes for Liv. A, you now have to let her destroy Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. If you want to bring her back to this heel level, to this babyface level, if you want her to feel like a superhero, to feel like a true good guy, you can't, especially Shayna Baszler, which is unfortunate. You just can't protect her at all. You have to let Liv go out at Clash at the Castle and just put on a fucking clinic. Just destroy, clean finish. No questions asked. Liv Morgan, show that she's capable of beating somebody like Shayna Baszler. Then there's option B. Option B is embrace the heel turn. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's let her be heel. Give her basically the gimmick that Lacey Evans was about to run with the crowd doesn't deserve me. The crowd doesn't deserve Liv Morgan. And just let her cheat her way to victory. Let her do these sketchy, underhanded things. And then I lied. There is a C. And this is what I would do. Get the fucking belt off of Liv Morgan. She's not ready. She's proven it. She's not ready. And this is not meant to be negative to Liv Morgan. She's not ready. She wasn't ready to have the spotlights turned on to her and to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. She got her moment. She got to feel. She got to taste it. You now know what it tastes like. Now go hone those skills somewhere. Put the belt on Shayna Baszler. It's just put the belt. Let Shayna win. Put the belt on Shayna Baszler. We can move forward. Extreme Rules, I believe, is the next one after Clash at the Castle. Shayna, Ronda writes itself. It's a hell of a match. Get Liv Morgan out of the spotlight. And I mean this sincerely. I'm about to say something, and I mean it sincerely. And I don't mean this as a negative, because I feel like whenever you say something like what I'm about to say, people tend to they clam up, they get sensitive. But Liv Morgan could benefit 100%. Liv Morgan could benefit with a trip down to NXT. And don't look at it as a demotion. But she needs to go down to NXT. And she needs to work with some people like Mandy Rose. Some of these people, some of these heels, in a place that's a little more protected. Let her win the NXT title. Let her grab a microphone every week and cut a promo every week. Liv Morgan needs to be talking every week in front of a smaller audience who's not going to judge and criticize every single little move she does. Because that belt, that SmackDown women's belt, before Liv, that's Charlotte's belt. So we have an expectation of the people who hold that belt are supposed to be at least in the atmosphere of Charlotte. Liv's not in that. She could get there, but she's not in that. In NXT, we're more forgiving. We could be more forgiving because right now the NXT title is the closest thing we have to a mid-card women's belt in WWE. So I think you take Liv Morgan and you move her down and you let her talk every week, and she builds up that confidence because there's a lack of confidence there. Don't get it twisted. Liv Morgan has a lack of confidence. And the crowd turning on her probably shattered what little bit of confidence she had left. So if I was WWE, if I'm Triple H, I go, Liv, I know like you're not going to want to hear this, but let's send you down to NXT. Let's let you have a good 6 months to a year. You grab that NXT title. You work the crowd. They're going to love you down there. They're going to love you and they're going to embrace you and you're going to get to talk week after week after week after week. And you're going to practice these promo skills. And when you come back to the main roster, you'll have every skill set that you need to actually have a successful title run.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Ay, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Dope show that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, power driver or clothesline. We bringing that heat like the show, but you